Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality wherever you are in the world. When you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Thank you all for those who support this channel, support my work, whether it's via your comments, your likes, your subscriptions, in any other way that you support me. I am very, very grateful. It's a emotion or a feeling I like to generate. I feel that when we're grateful for our blessings, it's a good energy to put out there into the universe. So I'm very grateful this morning. I'm also very, I'm anticipating the reading. I came up the stairs and I thought, well, what are we going to find out today? We've got a full agenda. Before we start, I just want to look at the astrology, because when I came into this room, I was going to wear a necklace that deceased friend had given me. It's not this one. I chose a different necklace. And I put it down because I thought, oh, should I wear that or should I not? There's still a lot of sadness around his passing. And then as I sat down to work out what we were going to look at today, I kind of heard various noises around the room. That's not unusual for this particular room. And then I felt somebody touch me on the back. And of course, whenever there's a physical touch, I kind of, it gets pretty full on. So I kind of thought, well, who is this? And of course, I feel this was my deceased friend, just checking in to say hello. So nothing nefarious, but I thought, oh, well, let's just look at the astrology and see what that is telling us, because, being somebody that lives spiritually and uses various divination practices, I kind of get the big picture feel of things through a lot of modalities, from tarot to astrology to clairvoyance to mediumship. The moon is in a Gemini and the sun is conjunct Neptune, and there we have that kind of energy with that sun conjunct Neptune. Neptune, of course, is the modern day ruler of Pisces, although some would say Jupiter is. I say Neptune, but take your pick. And the sun being conjunct Neptunian energy, we just get this kind of flowing, ethereal type of energy, which is illuminated or radiated by the sun. And so this is probably a good day, with Gemini being communication, inner, outer communication with spirit also. This is probably a good day to just be open to what's around you in an energetic sense. Venus is in Scorpio at the moment as well. And so Scorpio, of course, Scorpio gets bad rap a lot of the time, but it is a very deep sign. It's a deep dive, and it's around transformation and intuitiveness as well. Scorpio is very psychic sign, and Venus is love. So putting all that together, don't be surprised if your passed over loved ones, friends and families you might be more able to pick them up today than in other days. So I'm going to pull just an oracle card to get us started, and then we'll get on to the political stuff. I'll be looking at voter suppression. Well, actually, it's voter purging off the rolls in the US. Absolutely horrendous. Never seen anything like it. Will there be a third assassination attempt on Donald Trump? I predicted a second one. Let's see if there'll be a third. The Lieutenant Governor in North Carolina, standing a candidate for the governorship of North Carolina, it has just come out, and there's been some pretty seedy, sordid stuff dredged up from his background. He refused to step down. Mark Robinson, I think that's his name, and he'll be the albatross right to the election. We'll see if that action, that timeline that has been now created through him, the information coming out, he visited porn sites, called himself the Black Nazi, if that is going to influence the election in any way. I really want to know, are the hostages that Hamas are holding, that, since October the 7th, Are any of them still alive? And what's going to happen to them? We now have Israel stepping up its bombing of Lebanon and Beirut answering back in kind. And you wonder what's going to happen to those hostages. So let's have a look at that. I've had multiple requests to look at P Diddy's arrest and charges on trafficking and other racketeering, other charges. It's pretty serious. He's apparently in a bad way in jail. His case kind of gives me the Epstein vibes. I wasn't going to do anything with this, but I started to look into it and I thought, ooh, yeah, this is kind of a bit like Epstein was to the celebrities. P Diddy perhaps was played the same role to celebrities within his circle. We're going to see if he's going to take down any famous names. I think that'll do today. All right, let's get going. And we'll start off with just an oracle card, just focusing in on that Neptunian, Scorpionic energy, Gemini energy. What's going on? What's the vibe today, or what's the vibe of the week? Can you show me from a spiritual sense, using our abilities, our gifts, what is the moment now that we're in? What is the spiritual moment now that we're in? What is the spiritual moment? It's I'm seeing the Queen of Rods and the Queen of Wands, and it is about stepping forward and standing up to be counted. So we have the Dream Thief, refusal of the call. The Dream Thief, refusal of the call. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, number 13 as well. Interesting. It was the 13th of September. That was a Black Friday. The number 13 conjures up all sorts of things. However, this is about it's about standing up for what, I'm just going to be old-fashioned here, standing up for what is right. Do we want the world to be proliferated with leaders who commit war crimes, leaders who have murky pasts, who are convicted felons, you know who I'm talking about, who have been found liable for fraud? I mean, Robinson in North Carolina, sex sites, time and time again, outrageous extremism. J.D. Vance, my goodness, what gives with that person? Could he sink any lower? And this is about line in the sand, and not descending into what is, when we are called, our spirit is called to understand that we are all one, that we are all connected. Our spirit is called to express compassion and gratitude, and to also stand up for what we know is right. And so there are spiritual standards. You can call them the 10 Commandments, you can call them whatever you like, whatever your religion is or your belief is. But we are asked to live to our highest self, to live in harmony with our highest self. And this is what, tempts us, whether that's power, fame, deep quiet, meditation and stillness. If you're having trouble finding your compass, finding your connection, number 11, very highly spiritual number. Meditate and be still and find your compass. Root girl, the disowned self. So what I'm seeing here, number 46, which is 10, foundation and also healing. It's Chiron. Chiron, I think, in Aries. And also, I think at the time of the election, wherever your Chiron is in your chart, this is about owning your weakness, owning your weaknesses, and being triumphant over them. And so that's a very clear line in the sand that we're seeing playing out across the world today. Sky dancers surrender to that beautiful radiating energy. Falling angel. Also understand that other people's negativities are, if you choose another way, then you really aren't responsible for them. A tidy house, clarity and organisation. And, it's about setting within your own belief system, setting things to right. So, interesting. Falling down the rabbit hole in any way. Okay, let's see where we're going with the political reading today. I'm using the Golden Tarot, also the Tarot of Traditions, and I do have the Hanson Robert Tarot, mini tarot out to clarify. Let's start with our questions. Will the purge voters be restored? I am wondering. I know states in the US have carriage of the elections, but there's also your Federal Voting Rights Act, and I'm wondering what law these states are breaking and why the Federal Attorney General's Department isn't more active here. Every day it seems we hear another state has purged a couple hundred. I think 500,000 million in Texas voters from the rolls. Check your registration. All right, will this voter purging be restored? Will this voter purging affect the election in any of the states? I think it was Oklahoma was another state that was purging rolls. Will this purge affect the election? Will this purge affect the election in any of the states? Will this purge affect the election in any of the states? The Ace of Cups, okay, the seeds of something, what has been planted, and the Queen of Wands here. So Spirit's focusing me back on that Queen of Wands energy. This is being done to counteract the number of women who are supporting Harris, the motivation, the white dudes for Harris, the evangelicals for Harris, you name it. She's ahead in the polls, so we can't get too carried away with that. But this is like momentum. That speaks to me of momentum. And then we have the sun here. It's almost as if the original question that I asked, it's not going to matter in some way. The King of Coins is in the past. The King of Pentacles is my card for Trump. The Knight of Wands, quick movement forward, not backwards, is in the sky. And we have the Seven of Coins. If plan A doesn't work, we'll try plan B. We have the past here in the present position. And we have the Two of Coins. We stand at a crossroads. We stand, all of us, globally, at the crossroads, and there is manipulation that has its seeds, its tentacles in the past. The world in the hopes and fears, endings and new beginnings. This is a trying time, but it's in terms of our timelines, huge. And the Knight of Swords, the truth will out. And the Four of Swords, retreat, okay? And then we get the Queen of Coins, stability. So I think some of this registration stuff is being addressed by the voters themselves. Check your registration, check your registration, check your registration. It's going to be okay. By the way, I said the US government would not shut down, and it appears that the Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate have reached an agreement on a short-term funding bill, which does not include the voter suppression bill, Save the Vote or something like that, that would seek to align voter. When you vote, you had to show a proof of identity, which had to align with your birth certificate. Well, Who would that disenfranchise? Who changes their name? Women do when they're married, and so there were all sorts of things going on here. It's high desperation. So we have the Queen of Cups, and we get strength. Look, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It doesn't matter what they try. The electorate is mobilised. The electorate is checking twice. The electorate is defending itself. And Harris's momentum is the sun. Okay, so Georgia hand counting, just 2 or 3 cards. The hand counting that the election board doesn't have the authority to do that. It is being challenged. The Georgia government itself says that they don't have the power to do that. And so let's see. Will the Georgia election board's hand counting ballots be reversed? Will the Georgia election board's rule to hand count ballots be reversed? So we have the 8 of coins working on it at this time. We get the magician, manifestation, and we get the 10 of wands. Okay, so end of cycles. Let's see what else is there. The ace of cups. So it will be reversed. I don't think it's going to be still standing at the end of the election, but you can see the end of the cycle here. 2 tens now, end of cycle. And then we get the King of Swords, the prosecutor. Looks like there will be successful action. It could even be from Biden's DOJ as well. And then we get the 7 of Cups. There's a illusionary web that is being spun or trying to be spun, but it is a losing strategy. So it looks like it will be reversed. And this is what I mean. There's so many people that have drawn the line in the sand this time and have said no. And, that's coming from Republicans as well. And you see that 100 ex-Reagan and Bush staff, not 100, but every time there's a headline, people condemning Trump and saying that he's unfit to hold office. Okay, 3rd attempt, and, it's okay to say, it's okay to speak the truth. The headline I put on Trump's 2nd assassination attempt was "He reaps what he sows." And that's from looking at a higher authority. We are all responsible for the way that we live our lives. If we choose to live them and court violence, then violence will come to us. You can never be sure whether violence is on the same side as you, if you've whipped it up, or whether at some point it turns against you. And there are countless examples in history. You can never be sure that what you have sown will not come back at you at some point in the future. And so this is what we're seeing. Okay, so now it goes without saying, like it goes without saying that we don't support terrorist organisations. It goes without saying that violence is never an answer. And that is something that I wish that the ex-president would learn, that violence is never an answer. Okay, so 3rd assassination attempt. Will there be a 3rd assassination attempt on Trump? Will there be a 3rd assassination attempt on Trump? The Tower. Crossed by the Page of Wands. There's probably a young person out there. It's the way he speaks that is now... I wish I could say to his campaign, to him, to J.D. Vance, stop speaking in ways that incite aggression and violence. Stop driving people toward, he keeps calling illegal Haitians. They're there legally. And they're there really as a workforce for the local businesses in Springfield. If you haven't read the New York Times article on why they're there and who put them there, and the governor of Ohio his daughter runs a charity in Haiti, and the business people, the manufacturers wanted labourers. One said, I have 30, I'll take another 30. It's filling labour spots. Now, that is a Republican government that is doing that, and they've just been demonised. If I could say to them, watch what you speak, what the energy you give out comes back to you. I know that. 6 of coins, someone being paid perhaps, somebody who's gone into debt as a result of what's happened, could have been something to do with Truth Social. See, we are responsible. Investors who have lost their money, we are responsible. Some people gave their life savings and lost them. We're responsible for our own actions. The Empress is in the past, and I'm pretty sure if Russia thought that they had a better candidate in Vance or anyone else, they would not hesitate. They would not hesitate to do something. They do it all the time in the UK. People are assassinated everywhere. You have to live by your words. The Ace of Cups is in the sky, a lot of emotion being generated there. I can feel it from here, what it's like at the moment in the US. The 3 of Cups, 3 people involved. The Lovers card, the cult, that's the cult of Trump. And overseas, something to do with overseas. Could be migrants stirring up this anti-migrant rhetoric all the time. The Chariot, things getting out of control. This is what I read on at the beginning of the year. I said he better watch out. He's created now something that is out of control, that he can't control. And then we get the 9 of Wands, guardrails, barriers. It seems to me somebody that's lost something, and then the Sun card. So it is possible, I'm going to draw a clarifier, the Truth coming out too. Yeah, I'm picking up a huge disenchantment there against him. It's got nothing to do with the Democrats. It's got nothing to do with what the Democrats say. It has everything to do with people that have supported him at one time and are disenchanted, that have feel like they've lost everything. Oh, God. Okay, so will there be a third? So I've got 2 yeses, 2 strong yeses and 1 no, or yes, 2 yeses, 3 yeses and 1 no. So let's have a look. All right, so what's going on here? Will there be can you show me clearly, will there be another third assassination attempt? Somebody's deciding. Crossroads and the 3 of Wands, waiting for one ship to come in. I feel that, and the Hierophant, I feel that this person's been paid by an overseas entity. And the 2 of Cups, contracts, deals. It's almost like it's a King of Pentacles. And then the 4 of Wands. They better be careful. Nobody wants him to be assassinated. But I feel someone has planned something, and there's some kind of deal here. Also, his dealings with overseas governments as well. He just needs to be careful, because if it's going to occur, it seems like it's at Mar-a-Lago. So yes, there could be, we get the Nine of Pentacles and we get the Nine of Cups, nines, wish fulfillment. Temperance, moving out of troubled waters and new starts. So there's just like so many enemies. He's created so many enemies. That's the truth of it. There's new starts coming. I think I'm just going to say that, yeah, there's somebody that's planning something. And who would know what that might be? Who would know where that would find root? But it feels like someone's being paid off by somebody, possibly even overseas entities. Okay, so Biden has beefed up his his Secret Service, rightly so. He has so many enemies. Trump has so many enemies. If I were him, I would have dropped out, never restood, and gone and just been a speaker and grifted off whatever fame he had, because his life is going to be forever tarnished, or not tarnished. He's never going to be free of these assassination people who want him to see him. He's made so many enemies. So many enemies. All right. Robertson in North Carolina. All right, which might change the decks. The energy coming off these cards today is pretty strong. And so, yeah, there could well be a third. And I feel that the plot is already in motion. Okay. Somebody is being paid to do it. Will he be assassinated? Okay, let's just hands off for a minute. Will Trump be assassinated? You know, he's struggling. He's really struggling. It's the end for him. Will he be assassinated? So we've got... It's almost like there's a crossroads. Again, the crossroads. Again, the energy that he stirred up. It cannot go on like this forever. And I think you all know that. All right, so... Will Trump be assassinated? Let's just say it's possible, and he needs to be extremely careful. Okay, so Mark Robinson. There's also matters around his heart, is what I'm seeing. Okay, so... And I've long said his health is not good. Mark Robinson, the person that said I'm a black Nazi, or want to be a black Nazi, visited porn outlets, viewed porn, multiple times in each week, liked to view transgender porn. He says some disgusting things. Robinson, will he be Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina? Will Robinson's staying in the race cost Trump North Carolina? Will Robinson cost Trump North Carolina? Will Robinson cost Trump North Carolina? It's in the Ten of Swords. Right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, and we get the Nine of Wands, World Weariness. It's denting any support that he might have there. You'll see that come up in the polls. Here's the Two of Pentacles. People perhaps who may have decided to vote for him may change their vote. This is it's like this. That's the foundation of the reading. Justice is in the past. Lady Justice. Very karmic card. That's in the past. So you can see how all these timelines are going. The Ten of Pentacles is money, legacy. Okay, it'll certainly cost them campaign donations. It will certainly cost them campaign donations. Whoo-wee! Five of Cups. Remember the fox? The fox psychic pulled that for Trump. Okay, it's costing him. Knight of Pentacles. Again, consistency in the present. And then we get 3 of Cups, circles of support. So they stayed with him. They had a chance to put pressure on him to go. They stayed with him. Bombshells and surprises in the hopes and fears. We haven't heard the last of this. Whoo-wee, abuse. Oh, my goodness me. And the 8 of Pentacles. And the Devil. Okay, there's something else here with money. Robertson's going to be enmeshed in a financial scandal. He's abused his, for entertainment purposes only, allegedly, abused his position of power in some way, and he has obsessions and addictions that are coming forward in that Devil card. The Queen of Cups, it's also could be something to do with women, young people. Something else is breaking around him. This is not the end of the story, and he's defending himself. So absolutely it will cost him. It will cost Trump. I feel it will cost Trump North Carolina. It will certainly cost him votes. Okay, will the Dems win North Carolina? Let's just have a little look. The current energy. Will the Dems win North Carolina as a result of, well, there's more scandal to come. Let's just go. Will the Democratic Party win North Carolina in the November presidential election? Will they win North Carolina in the November presidential election? King of Pentacles, King of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, women vote. The Hierophant, the Supreme Court, that's in the past. The Empress card, women again. And the High Priestess. Again, I keep going skullduggery in North Carolina. The Seven of Pentacles, they're looking at how they can salvage this. This is the energy of the present, not good, very downhearted about their chances. Isolation, an isolated candidate, and there's the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords and justice, divine justice and judgment. It's inevitable. It's inevitable because something else is going to happen than what we've already seen. There's more to come. Goodness gracious, CNN. They're trying to make up for, the media's pretty dirty, isn't it? When they thought that Trump would beat Biden, they capitulated to him, same as the New York Times. Now we see Harris, the movement, because it is a movement for VP Harris, and we see the gloves coming off some of the legacy media. It just goes to show you they can do their job when the wind is blowing a certain way. Okay, let's go to, I want to do P Diddy, and we'll leave the hostage question until Thursday. Before I go to P Diddy, I just want to say there's a reason why I tend to be quite critical of the royal family, and that's because of the actual direct gaslighting that went on when Prince Harry was still with the firm. There's gaslighting in the media in America, in the UK, and it's terrible to witness for me. Now we see Prince Harry being mentioned as someone who went to one of those parties. No, they did that so that there would be no notion that he was guilty of anything. And the Sun in the UK, the Sun newspaper, ran that story that he was mentioned in P Diddy. No clarification that it was done really as a way to protect him, to make sure that he, to say he did not know there, he was, just at one of those parties. And then they ran this photo of P Diddy, Prince Harry and Kanye West. Guess who they cropped out? they cropped out Prince William, who was at the same gathering, party, whatever you want to call it. Left to right, this is in Newsweek if you want to go and check it out. Prince William alongside Kanye West, Prince Harry and Sean Diddy Combs during a backstage party at Wembley Arena in London. Okay. Harry, but not William, has been linked to Combs, whose properties, including his Los Angeles home, was raided by the Department of Homeland Security. If you don't know this backstory, P. Diddy is a rapper, I think he is, American rapper. And he's kind of a bit like Jeffrey Epstein. He's been charged with trafficking and racketeering. And he, someone who hosted parties, wild parties. Go and read about him. It's all there online. I've had several requests to read about him. Let's take a look. P. Diddy. P. Diddy, will you bring down some famous names with you? Will you bring down some famous names with you? Will you, P. Diddy, bring down... So I'm seeing a tunnel. It's like in the air conditioning, people climbing through, moving their way through a tunnel, like something underground. This could be the trafficking, an image, a metaphor for trafficking. And there's the jail cells. Okay, so no, okay. So there's no way out for P. Diddy. That's what I'm seeing. He's feeling no way out. He's on a special kind of watch. I don't want to mention that word here, but you know what I mean. There's no way out. There's no way out for him. Are you going to bring down... There's something to do with a movie executive, from one of the a studio executive. Are you going to bring down any famous people with you? Ooh. You're going to bring down any famous people with you. What do you want to show me, Spirit, with P. Diddy? It's not kind of a reading that I would normally do. What do you want to show me with P. Diddy? All right. So 2 of Cups, deals, contracts, the Lovers. Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. It's the parties, the wild parties. It's the... yeah. I think the particular parties were called freak-offs. He had a lot within his circle. Is he going to bring down people? Yes, they've been involved in these things. There's death card there. The death card is at the foundation of the reading. The end. The end for him. The 8 of Cups, it's already lost, is in the past. The 10 of Cups, his family. Okay, so yeah, there's, for entertainment purposes only, members of his family here are being shown. There's a death card here. He may be linked for entertainment purposes to someone's death. Oh dear, the Emperor. Well, that's the 4 kings, isn't it? Control. Someone big, someone sitting on the throne of something. I'm not talking a king, queen, or even a prince. This is more likely somebody ahead of something. Ahead, somebody, a CEO, a managing director, manager, ahead of a big corporation, or, as I said, studio, which came to mind. The Hierophant is the courts, that's in the present, and the Knight of Pentacles. So they have all the evidence they need to convict him. He's not getting off. The Ace of Cups is in the hopes and fears. And then we get the 10 of Wands. Yeah, I just keep getting him struggling. The prosecution case is so strong. He's having to, defend himself. And then we get the 4 of Pentacles. So there are money issues here as well. So it could even be financial crimes come to light. But I think the biggest... Oh, God, there's the King of Pentacles. Now, Trump has been seen photographed with him. I don't know why. I don't think that's Trump, but I think it's his business dealings that are going to come to light as well. could be an Aries, whoever's an Aries, and there's the Tower. Okay, so his business dealings are in the frame. I know you think that's Trump. I don't think it is, although did Trump do business with him? Is that the connection? But that's not the biggest thing to come out of this reading. There's somebody who's died. Okay, so they have such a strong case. Yes, he is bringing down someone big, and that's yet to come. All right, that's the reading. Thanks for tuning in. We'll look at the hostages in the next reading, as well as what's going on there in the Middle East. I feel that the Lebanon-Israel stuff is going to continue. Bombs this way, bombs that way. It's not going to be an invasion of Lebanon, nor is Lebanon going to invade. They're just going to this is going to be this violence, and innocent people on both sides are going to be impacted. It's not what can I say? There's something else there, and it has to do with Iran, and that's the thing that needs watching. Okay, bye for now. I'll be back again soon.